Translation is an art of converting magic of one language into the magic of another language. Magic of source language into the magic of target language. Today we talk about the very important topic, very important content, the art of translation that plays a pivotal role in cross-cultural communication. Along with this important topic, we will also discuss two more topics, that is transcription and paraphrasing, which can be said that these are also the part of translation. You are watching DrWaheedJatoi official YouTube channel, and this is DrWaheedJatoi. Let's meet after this lecture. Translation is the process of converting text or spoken words from one language, that is called the source language, into another language, that is called the target language. This process enables communication and understanding between people who speak different languages, facilitating the exchange of ideas, culture, information, and services across linguistic barriers. There are three types of translation. Number one, literal translation. This translation is word for word translation that gives the literal translation of each word. Number two, free translation. This type of translation maintains the sense. So this is also called sense for sense translation that conveys the overall meaning and context, not the literal meaning. Number three is idiomatic translation. This translation is idiomatic or idioms and expressions. Translation process. The translation process involves certain points or elements. 1. Understanding the source text. 2. Analyzing the context and culture. Here, this is very important point. How to analyze context and culture. Because sometimes we have the particular and specific expressions or idioms that cannot be translated from one language, source language, to the target language. For this, we have to find out the substitute of that, and that is very important for translating the cultural expression. 3. Researching terminology and references. 4. Translating the text. 5. Reviewing and editing. Once you translate the matter, it is very important to review it, go through it again and edit it. Otherwise, there is a chance of some mistakes or lacunas that need to be addressed. 6. Proofreading. That's also very important. After it is done, you should read the proof of that passage or that piece that you translate. 7. Finalizing the translation. So to give the final touches to that, you have to finalize it after going through all these elements. Importance of translation. Translation is very important in all walks of life. Now we are living in the digital era. Before that, in 20th century or even in 19th century, people depended on the translators and the translations, because the one who did not know, for example, English language, if the book or novel or any sort of fiction was written in that, the only source of understanding it was translation. So throughout the centuries, translation has played important role, very important role. Therefore, Khalil Gibran, the great writer of the world, said, translation is a magic, the magic of one language, source language, to the magic of target language. So there are certain elements for that show the importance of translation. One, communication across languages and cultures. That's very important. Until and unless there is communication across the languages and cultures, if we don't have our local people that may understand English language and the English, if they do not know our local languages, Urdu or Sindhi, so this process cannot be done easily. Therefore, communication across languages and cultures is very important, and this is the foremost element of importance of translation. 2. Global business and trade. 3. Education and research. 4. Literature and media. 5. International relations and diplomacy. 6. Accessibility for diverse audiences. Challenges in translation. There are certain areas that need to be redressed or covered, which are the challenges in translation. Number 1 is language complexities and nuances. 2. Cultural differences and references. 3. Contextual understanding. 4. Idiomatic expressions. 5. Technical terminology. The role of translation in cross-cultural communication. Translation plays a vital role in cross-cultural communication, facilitating global understanding, collaboration, and exchange. Effective translation requires cultural competence, linguistic expertise, and technological innovations. The best practice in translation. The best practices are 1. Understand target audience and culture. Use culturally sensitive language. 3. Collaborate with native speakers. 4. Consider local norms and customs. 5. Invest in quality translation services. Paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is the act of rewording or rephrasing someone else's ideas, text, or speech using your own words while retaining the original meaning. It involves expressing the same message in a different way, which can help clarify the information, simplify complex concepts, or tailor content to a specific audience. Paraphrasing and translation. Can we say that paraphrasing is the kind of translation or is part of translation? Let's understand the differences. Paraphrasing and translation are both essential language skills, but they serve different purposes and operate within different scopes. While they are distinct processes, paraphrasing techniques often play a crucial role in effective translation. Here is a detailed exploration of how paraphrasing relates to translation. Purpose: rewording or rephrasing text within the same language to clarify, simplify, or present information differently while retaining the original meaning. That is purpose of paraphrasing. Now, scope. That involves altering the structure and vocabulary of the source text without changing its language. Now, translation. Purpose: converting text from one language, that is source language, to other language, that is target language, while preserving the original meaning, tone, and context. Scope of translation. That involves linguistic and cultural adaptation to accurately convey the message in a different language. Relationship between paraphrasing and translation. Paraphrasing as a tool in translation. 1. Clarifying meaning. Translators often paraphrase parts of the source text to better capture the intended meaning in the target language, especially when direct translations may be unclear or awkward. It means the first type of language, that is literal translation. Literal translation, if is not possible, then they switch to another form, that is sense for sense, or in other words we can say free translation. So paraphrasing helps translators in free translation. Cultural adaptation. Some expressions or idioms don't have direct equivalents in the target language. Paraphrasing allows translators to convey the underlying meaning in a culturally appropriate way. 3. Maintaining readability. To ensure that the translated text flows naturally, translators may paraphrase sentences to fit the grammatical and stylistic norms of the target language. Difference between the two processes. There are certain areas where paraphrasing and translations differ. That is language barrier. Paraphrasing occurs within the same language, focusing on rewording, while translation involves bringing two different languages. 2. Complexity. Translations often require a deeper understanding of cultural nuances, idiomatic expressions, and context, making it generally more complex than paraphrasing. Objective. The primary goal of paraphrasing is to restate information. Transcription. Transcription is the process of converting spoken language or audio-video content into written text. Types of transcription. There are 4 types of transcription. 1. Verbatim transcription. This is word for word transcription, including filler words. For example, to. Clean verbatim transcription. This omits filler words and non-essential sounds. 3. Edited transcription. This lightly edits text for clarity and readability. 4. Intelligent verbatim transcription. This edits text for clarity, grammar, and punctuation. Purpose of transcription. There are certain purposes of transcription. This is very important. And transcription also plays the role in translation. 1. Accessibility. This provides text for audio-video content. 2. Documentation. This creates written records of meetings, interviews, and lectures. 3. Research. This transcribes data for analysis and study. 4. Content creation. This transcribes podcasts, videos for blog posts and articles. 5. Subtitling. This transcribes audio for subtitles. So transcription has also the greater role to play in translations. It can be concluded that translation serves as a vital facilitator of effective cross-cultural communication, overcoming linguistic boundaries and facilitating global comprehension. By accurately conveying messages across language barriers, translation enables individuals, organizations, and nations to establish meaningful relationships, engage in international commerce, and collaborate in educational and research endeavors. High quality translation services meticulously consider linguistic and cultural nuances, ensuring the preservation and conveyance of the original intent. Consequently, this fosters enhanced global connectivity, fortifies international relationships, and promotes cultural exchange, ultimately culminating in a more interconnected and inclusive world community. Hope that you enjoyed yourself watching this lecture and this is meaningful and useful for you. Thanks for watching and keep watching. Bye.